Hi, it's Mary Kay from Colibri Charms, and I wanted to show you something you can do with some things that are in my shop. So I have cabochon trays and glass domes in my shop, and you can make something like this with them. So what I've done is I've taken a little punch from the Cocoa Daisy printables. You could do it with printed paper as well. There are a lot of possibilities. The requirement though is that the printing be water fast, that it not be inkjet printing basically, unless you seal it. There are sealers for inkjet printing and you can find those online if you just look it up. If you sealed it, then you probably could do this with an inkjet print, but you can also get color copies. So if you printed it on inkjet, you could take it to Staples and get a color copy, or have them print for you on their laser printer if you don't have one, and that will work as well. If you don't have that, like I said, you can use already printed paper, and that's already gonna be good to go. So what you do is you have to find a shape, a design, and none of these I think would really work on this paper in particular. Oh, this is my EK Success 1-inch punch. It is essential to this enterprise because otherwise it'd be hard to get a perfect circle. So you could do this little guy, I guess, but most things on this page would be a little bit too big. One of the benefits of using printables is that, and you could do a flower, you know, but one of the benefits of using printables is that with the Cocoa Daisy printables, the only allowable manipulation you can make is to scale the size in your printer driver. So it's really very easy to scale down something like this, that if you wanted to use, say, one of these shells, you could use your printer driver and print it at probably 80%, and then that shell would fit right in the inch hole. I used a little octopus, as you can see, and I have not scaled these down, so this is just the regular size they already were. I'm thinking that there are a couple things that make sense. These little spiny guys, sea urchins, I could get the two of them in. So you just center it and punch. Or I could do one of these guys. I'm kind of partial to this little pinky red one. So I'll punch that. And then I do love the blowfishes, the puffer fishes. So I would like to do one of those too, but I'll have to reprint smaller if I do that. Okay. So once you have your little guy punched out, whatever you're going to use, there are a couple options. I did this one with something called diamond glaze, and it's easy to do, and I know there's probably no way you're going to be able to see it, but you'll have to take my word for it. There are a few little bubbles under the glass because it's really hard to get all the bubbles out of diamond glaze, especially if you're putting something down on top of it and squishing it. So I decided that, although since he's an octopus, bubbles aren't out of the question, the better way to do it would be to use Mod Podge. So this happens to be outdoor Mod Podge. I don't even know why I have it, but I found it in my cabinet. So any Mod Podge will do. Again, it is water-based though, so it won't work if you have a water. This is just would smear everywhere if you had a inkjet printed item. I should have put something down on my paper, on my face here to protect it. So you don't put a lot, as you just saw me do. So you just want a light coating. If you can see too much of it, you'll be able to see it through the glass as well. So you stick that down, and sometimes you can get a little air under there with Mod Podge too. So if you sort of slide it around and press it with your hands and get it where you want it on the circle before it has a chance to dry. And you can see I'm just pressing the back there, trying to get all the air out of it. And then you can let that dry for a few minutes, although it doesn't take terribly long. And then you take the cabochon tray, and I like to use for this E6000. E6000 is flexible gel glue, but it sticks really well. So you don't need very much because it is going to squish, you know, when you put the cabochon down. So you just put a little bit in the middle, and then you get your guy centered like you want him, and you press him down. Now if you let that dry for 15 minutes, you'll be good to go. So you have your own little charm, and think about all the things you can make. You can do, you could print pretty much anything you wanted and use that for a charm. You could do your initials, you could do photos, as long as they were water fast. So printed on, you know, on a photo printer that kept them water fast. And, or you could do pretty much any design you can even think of. So all you really need is a paintbrush, Mod Podge of really, I think, any kind, E6000, cabochon tray available in my shop at Colibri Charms, and glass domes available in my shop. They come as a pair. Oh, and your 1-inch circle punch, or you could cut circles if you have a digital cutter. You could cut them that way, of course. And a variety of companies make the 1-inch circle punch, but you saw the secret to it, which is to hold the paper upside down so you can see exactly where you're punching. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.